Now this video is called Attitude is Everything. And it's called Attitude is Everything because attitude is exactly that. Everything, especially the power of a positive attitude. Did you know that 10% of life is what happens to you and 90% of life is how you decide to react to it? I'm gonna say that again. 10% of life is what happens to you and 90% of life is how you decide to react to it. Attitude is everything, and the best attitude to have is a gratitude attitude. If you take a glass of water and you can say it's half empty or half full, that makes all the difference in the world. If you say it's half empty, how do you feel? As soon as you say that glass is half empty, you feel like something's been taken away from you. You feel like you're missing something. You feel like you don't have everything. But the minute you say that it's half full, you feel like that you have something to work with, that you're starting off with something substantial. That is the power of attitude. You have to approach life like the glass is always half full because you're moving towards accomplishing your goals. We have to develop a solution-orientated attitude. Me and my business partners, one thing we got in common is all of us as kids lived in the projects. We lived where it was pee in the hallways. We lived where people were getting killed. Kids was being raped. People were being kidnapped. It was terrible. It was police oppression. And right now, collectively, we have over 300 employees that work for us today because we decided to develop an attitude of success. See, attitude is a tool, and what it leads to is winning. And if you want to lose in life, guess what? I'm talking to you. If you want to win, get a positive attitude. And if you want to lose, get some excuses. Because winners don't use those. They do not help us accomplish anything. I'm going to tell you something. Attitude is in your everyday life. When I start my meetings, what do I say? First of all, let's thank God for the blessing of a brand new day and the opportunity to once again enhance self. God could have made your whole life one sunrise and one sunset, but he chose to break it down. So no matter how dark it's been, today we have been blessed with the light of another day. I'm telling myself each and every morning, I'm ready to roll. It don't matter what it was before. We're going to continue to win. If you call my phone and say, good morning, Mr. Cooper, how you feeling today? I say, I'm truly blessed, no complaints, cocked, locked, and ready to rock every single day. I'm telling myself I'm ready to win. What are you telling yourself each and every day of the world? It's time to rock, guys. Let's get it done. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you a story or something when it comes to attitude. I was a magazine salesperson when I started. I was 17 years old. Somebody gave me something called a ducat. And what that means is it's full of receipts to good sales. And they gave me a credential and they said, go sell magazines. And I went out there and I worked my butt off. And one day I was in a very, very wealthy neighborhood. And I walked to the top of the hill and the lady came to the door and she said, are you selling magazines? I said, yes, I am. She said, well, you need to get off my property. She said, look to the left of me. All these magazines I got. I buy every year. I'm tired of you people coming by. I got 50 magazines on the floor. I don't want them. Leave. I said, okay, and got in the van. The very next day I was in the van in the same neighborhood. And we pulled up and I said, wait a second, why are we in the same neighborhood? I feel sorry for whoever works in this neighborhood. And I see a salesperson at the top of the hill talking to the very same lady, and he was smiling and he gave her a hug and he came and jumped in the van. Naturally, I was confused. Naturally, I said something's wrong because my attitude said you can't win in this community. So I asked him what happened. He said the lady spent $1,000 with me. I said impossible. What happened? He said I knocked on the door. She said, are you selling magazines? And I said, well, what did you say? He said, I said, yes. And I said, well, what did she say? She said she didn't want any. She said to get off her property. She said, somebody came by yesterday. I don't need any magazines. He said, ma'am, I'm glad to hear that you have a lot of magazines and you don't want any more. And then I asked him, well, what else did you say? He said, what you need to do is get rid of these magazines. And what you need to do is just renew your favorite 10. He said, pick out your favorite 10 magazines. She said, okay, that makes sense. But how does that help me? He said, by you picking out your favorite 10 magazines, all the other magazines disappear and you only keep the ones you want. And you know what I'm gonna do for you, ma'am? I'm gonna leave a receipt here that you put in the door, and I'm gonna write on the receipt that said she's done her part. He solved her problem, and naturally she was happy, gave him a hug, and most importantly, $1,000 check. See, 10% of life happened to both of us. We had a lady that didn't want any magazines, but 90% happened how we reacted to it. I reacted in a manner to lead. He reacted in a manner to win. The bottom line is where you are today is a direct reflection of the decisions you have made to this point. And if you are not where you want to be, you need to make better decisions. And yes, I'm talking to you. The time to win is now. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm going to give you another story. We went to a Chinese store to get food that served us food that wasn't good, that had plexiglass up. that it was bulletproof because they didn't want to interact with the people. Some of us were bad, but not all of us were shooters and killers. And the people used to be frustrated because they never would hire anybody from the community. Nobody from the community was allowed to work there or be on that side of the glass. It felt like visiting a police precinct. And people used to get so frustrated, they would pee in the lobby and draw in the lobby and destroy the lobby when that part of the restaurant looked terrible. And I had a problem with the restaurant as well. I didn't like it. But the 10% of the way they decided to deal with us as a people is what happened to all of us. But 90% is how we decided to react to it. The gentleman that you see in this video today, we have recently came together and made a cash offer for that building that was owned by that same Chinese family as an older man. And guess what? We paid cash. And now that same building, we provide over 250 jobs to our people in the community. So yes, that bad food was being distributed in all our neighborhood, but we decided to do something about it. What in your life needs buying today? What do you need to make a change of today? It's your story. You can do it, but you gotta take it seriously and you have to develop a power of a positive attitude to get it done. Having an attitude of sincere expectation of achieving your dreams is how we were able to accomplish the goal of buying the Chinese store in the first place. You have to have an attitude that you believe that you're gonna accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish. And I'll give you the perfect example. You go buy one of those candy vending machines. Remember the old ones that have the arms that spin when you put the money in and then the food drops down? If you were hungry and you wanted a Snickers bar, so you're hangry, however they call it, right? And you say, oh, I want a Snickers bar. And it says 75 cents. And you reach in your pockets and you don't have any change. You know what you do? You keep on walking. You don't expect to get a Snickers bar. But let's say, for instance, you put your 75 cents in that machine. And you know how the bar spin a little bit. And then it stop. And the candy don't fall. You look, what happened? Where my candy at? You know what you do? You start shaking the machine. And if that don't work, you buck the machine as hard as you can until your Snickers bar falls down. And the reason why you expect the Snickers bar to fall down is because you have satisfied the obligation to achieve the Snickers bar. If you find that you are not bumping the machine of life, it's because you are not doing what it takes to achieve the dream in the first place. Today is the day, guys. Go out there and achieve your dreams. If you're trying to elevate your business and take your business to a Fortune 500 company, if you're trying to impress your supervisor and go to the next level, then today is the day to do it as long as you believe in you.